What's up, family? Man, I bless each and every one of you. May God continue to guide you, comfort you, and aid you in your growth and development. Family, we have to grow up. We have to grow up. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You know what I mean? Man, this is spiritual boot camp. That's what this platform is. It's spiritual boot camp. It's for those of us who want to grow up emotionally. It's for those of us who want to learn how to do the hard work of how to heal ourselves emotionally, psychologically. You know what I mean? For those of us who've gone through so much hell, for those of us who've been broken and abused and battered and abandoned and rejected and crushed and just all kinds of things, this is a platform for each and every one of us. I don't give a fuck about your ethnicity. I don't give a fuck about your sexual orientation. This is not about your political affiliation. You know what I mean? Man, I don't give two fucks about none of that shit. This platform is not for politics. This platform is not for preaching a fucking religion. This platform is not about, man, damning anybody to hell because they are attracted to this group of individuals. Or it's not about that shit. This is about us coming together as a collective, us coming together as one. Say, man, I've been damaged. I've been fucked up. I've been broken. I've been the perpetrator. I've been the victim. You know what I mean? This is about us, and man, enough is enough. You know what I mean? No more games. No more games. Man, I get asked so much, man, how do you let go? How do you let go? Man, how did you let go, Elijah? Your father murdered your mama when you were 2 years old. How did you let go of the hate that you had for those guys who molested you when you were 6? How did you let go of the hate you had for your family who were dogged you the fuck out, was constantly telling you that you were stupid and dumb and you were going to hell and you weren't going to amount to nothing, you're going to be dead before you were 18 or in prison for the rest of your life? How did you let go of the pain of being abandoned and crushed by these women? How did you let go of the pain of your wife leaving you and taking the kids? How did you let that shit go? How did you let go of the pain of losing your wife, Cecilia, to breast cancer? How did you let go of the pain of losing your brother to colon cancer? How did you let go of the pain of moving to New York City and being abandoned and crushed and left homeless? How did you get back on your motherfucking feet? How did you let go of all that shit? I'm glad you asked. Because we're going in today. You know what I mean? We're going in. We're going in. And again, it is what it is. Man, we got to grow up, family, emotionally. And so often, so many of us, we understand. I love working out, exercising. I love Kung Fu. And one of the terms that I've learned was muscle memory. Muscle memory. You know what I mean? And for anybody that understands the body, you understand you do something long enough, it comes naturally. Naturally. You go shooting enough, you do something long enough, it'll, pulling that trigger comes naturally. Your breathing is on point because it's natural, because you've done it long enough. You go work out, it's muscle memory. You do ballet, it's muscle memory. You do yoga, it's muscle memory. You go running, it's muscle memory. You stretch, it's muscle memory. Muscle memory. Muscle memory. Get that in your head. Why am I talking about muscle memory? Because the truth be told, so many of us been working with muscle memory, didn't even know it. Had no fucking clue. What am I talking about? Oh, God help us. Many of us, that same terminology, the same definition for what you do naturally. You get up in the morning, first thing you do is grab your phone and start scrolling. First thing you do is grab a cigarette, grab whatever you drink it. You do it instinctively. You do it, you don't even think about it. You just reflexes. I'm grabbing, I'm getting this, I'm doing just muscle memory. You do the same fucking thing over and over and over and over. You get up and you get dressed and you brush your teeth and if you brush your teeth, get your coffee, your tea, whatever it is the fuck that you do. You do it on the daily for the most part. Why? Because it's muscle memory. You just instinctively do. I drive the same way to work. I get on the same bus. I get on the same trains. I walk the same way. You do the same fucking routine over and over and over and over. So, many of us, we hold on to negative, toxic shit. And we don't know how to let go of it. We want to let it go. We don't want to keep having these same nasty, devastating thoughts. We don't want to keep thinking about how we've been abused and abandoned and rejected and hurt and crushed and lied to and deceived and dead. We don't want to honestly keep thinking about that shit. And so that's why so many of us, we start smoking. That's why so many of us, we start drinking. Why? Because it distracts us from the fucking pain. It puts our mind on something else. That's why so many of us stay so fucking distracted. We stay so caught up in the fucking bullshit of what's going on in the world, in politics, in hip hop, and every other fucking place else. We stay so caught up in sports and acting and the entertainers and all these other things. Why? Because they take my mind off the fucking pain and the bullshit I don't want to think about. Because it's muscle memory. And so what happens is, what God had to show me was, Elijah, you got to grow the fuck up. Elijah, you're going to have to deal with this shit. You're going to have to let go of your pain and your anger and your hatred towards your daddy. Elijah, you wanted to kill your daddy. You told your daddy you had a bullet with his motherfucking name on it. You told your daddy bring his bitch ass back to fucking California if he was big and bad enough to, because you was going to take his ass off the fucking game. This is the bullshit you told your daddy. Why? Because you were still hurting. Because you were still full of anger. We're going there today. We're going there. And so one of the things that God was showing me was, Elijah. Elijah. You got to let it go. And so often I would sit there and I would cry and I would get mad at God because I tried letting this shit go. I thought I let this shit go. I wasn't consciously thinking about the bullshit. And yet sometimes that bullshit came right back to my motherfucking conscious mind and I couldn't get it away. I couldn't shake free from the fucking pain and the anger and the fucking grip that it had on my life. No matter what I did, I prayed, I cried, I fasted, I read the Bible, and nothing fucking changed. We're going there today. We're going there. And so what God had to show me was, Elijah. So often, so many of you, you'll say, I forgive you, I release it, and you expect it to go away right then and there and never have it come back to your remembrance. So often, so many of you get to a place where you can finally cry and like, I forgive him, God. It hurts, God, but I forgive him, God. God, I'm trying to forgive him, God. I want to forgive him. God, please help me, God. And we'll do that. And yet the pain is still there. The trauma's still there. And we'll go on with our life thinking that we forgave them. We'll go on with our life thinking that we let this shit go. And then here comes something else. If you see smoke coming, it's from my incense. So if you, so here comes something else. A trigger. And triggers are beautiful fucking things. So many of us, we hate getting triggered. But triggers are a beautiful message from God. Triggers are a beautiful message from source, from the universe, to let you know you ain't let that shit go all the way yet. You ain't all the way there yet. You're not completely healed in this area of your life yet. You haven't resolved all these issues pertaining to this subject yet. And so I'm allowing you to be triggered, so that you can grow the fuck up and understand, oh, I still got some more work here to do. Oh, there's still some residue here. Oh, there's still some of this shit left in the corner over here. Oh, I missed the spot right here. Oh, there's a spot over there. Let me sweep this shit up. Let me get this shit up. That's why we get triggered. You don't get triggered to set you off and then piss you off. No, motherfucker, stop being a fucking victim. You get triggered because God is wanting you to understand, oh, you got some shit to do over here still. You got some work to do in this area of your life still. Triggering, that's not about you getting pissed the fuck off. That's about you getting humbled and being grateful. Man, thank you, God. Thank you for caring that much, that you're allowing me to see that I still fucked up over this shit. Thank you for allowing me to see that I ain't completely healed in regards to this shit right here yet. Thank you for allowing this person or this thing to piss me off, to set me off, to trigger me, to show me that, man, I missed the spot over here. And so, what God has shown me was, and one of the ways he did it was the movie The Shack. And I was working on this before The Shack, but The Shack confirmed it. The Shack was confirmation. And so in the movie The Shack, we've been talking about The Shack. Man, you can watch it on YouTube. Man, free. Everybody needs to see the movie. And so The Shack, the father, Mac, his beautiful baby girl is taken from him. She's murdered. And so there's a scene where an Indian guy comes in and wakes Shaq up, and God changes into this Indian guy. And we're going to talk about that later. And so he leaves Mac out into the woods. And he tells him, we're going to go somewhere today. We're going to go do something today. And you got to be strong. You got to be strong. You got to be courageous. You got to be up. You got to be on point today. Okay? Now I'm going to show you some stuff. I'm taking you somewhere, and I'm going to show you some shit that's going to fuck you up. And I know it's going to fuck you up. I promise you, it's going to fuck you up. But I need you to be strong, and that's why I'm here with you. That's why I'm here to help you. That's why I'm here to guide you, for you to lean on and everything else. Why? Because you're going to need courage today. You're going to need the most faith today. You're going to need all your strength today, because you're going to go through some shit today. You're going to experience some shit today. And I need you to understand that. So the Indian takes Mac. They're going through the woods. And he sees these little symbols. And he's led down this path. Man, in this dark place deep in the woods. He crawls over rocks and through the trees. Goes into the rocks and moves rocks and goes into this little dark cave. My God. And he finds his daughter beaten, bloody, dead, just laying on the dirt. And he's broken. He's crushed. He's fucked up. Because it's one thing to lose your baby girl. It's one thing to find blood left on the ground. It's one thing to find her dress. But to go and see her body, you gotta understand, to see the baby girl who was no more than 6 years, 7 years old, laying there battered and crushed like that. And that's your heart, that's your baby. And you know that there was nothing you could have done to protect her. You feel like an epic fucking failure as a dad and a mom to see your baby lying there like that. We going there. And so Mac is crushed. The tears, he's shaking. His body's shaking. He's fucked up. He wasn't ready for this. He wasn't ready for this image. He wasn't ready to see his baby girl like that. And so, the Indian gets down, lays out a cloth, pulls out his medicine bag, and he has his flowers and different types of herbs that's been crushed and everything. And they picked the little girl up, put her on this white cloth, put the flowers around her and on her, and they wrap her up. And they have to walk out. And the Indian is telling Mac, you gotta forgive him. You gotta forgive him. Mac's like, how many times? And the Indian tells Mac, as many times as it takes. You gotta catch this, because so many of us, we try to let go of shit. We try to forgive people. We try to do all this other stuff to let go of the pain and the trauma and all that other stuff. But we have to do it as many times as it takes. Muscle memory. Muscle memory. And so the Indian is carrying the body out, and Mac holds the body, grabs the body and takes the body. He's gonna carry his baby girl. And he's crying and he's crushed and he's fucked up. And you hear Mac saying, I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. And he didn't believe it. He didn't forgive him at first. Just saying it was just lip service in the beginning. There was no power behind what he was saying in the beginning. So many of us, I forgave my father with my mouth. But not in my heart. In my heart, I wanted to fucking crush him. In my heart, I wanted to stomp his fucking brain into the fucking concrete. In my heart, I wanted him to fucking suffer. Real shit. But I had to forgive him. I had to let it go. And so I had to keep finding ways and just, I forgive him. I forgive you. And that, in the beginning, it was Dad. It wasn't Dad, it was fuck that. In the beginning, the real shit, it was like, man, I forget him. He was just him. But the more I forgave him, my saying changed. To the place where I got to, like, Dad, I forgive you. Dad, I forgive you. Dad, I love you. Dad, I forgive you. Dad, I love you. Dad, I forgive you. And after a while, you realize that it's all the way gone. But it's the muscle memory. It's you constantly saying it. And in the beginning, it's a lie. Because I don't forget this motherfucker. In the beginning, it's like, fuck this motherfucker. I got a place in hell where his ass need to be at. In the beginning, God, just give me 3 minutes. Just give me 3 minutes with this motherfucker. Just allow me to just see him in private for 3 minutes. Let me do what I fucking want to his ass for 3 minutes. I can imagine all the pain and suffering I can inflict on his ass in 3 minutes. But as I begin to heal, and as I begin to let it go, I didn't want to do those things to him. I didn't want him to hurt like he hurt me. So I had to let it go. And I let it go. It took some time. It took some years because I thought I let it go, but I hadn't. And I kept getting triggered. And the triggers were God's way of showing me, okay, yeah, you've done a lot, but there's still some more to do. There's still a little bit more to work on. We got to grow up. Growing up emotionally is not easy. And that's why the great majority of humanity doesn't do it. And it is what it is. I don't stand in judgment of anyone. Growing up emotionally is painful as fuck. Growing up emotionally can be lonely as fuck. But it is what it is. The question is, are you willing to put in the work to grow up emotionally? Are you willing to put in the work, whatever it is? Are you willing to put in that work to let that pain, that trauma go so that you can become a greater version of yourself, the best version of yourself? Are you willing to let it go? Man, I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.